Your Marketing Ecosystem: How Brands Can Market Less and Sell More. Written and narrated by Angela Frank. Part 1. Welcome. Who should listen to this book? Your Marketing Ecosystem is for business owners, entrepreneurs, and corporate leaders who are frustrated with marketing and want a straightforward and profitable marketing strategy. If you are unhappy with your agency, contractors, and employees for making excuses, lacking proactivity, and performing subpar, this book is for you. Specifically, this book is for small business owners looking to cut through the noise and invest in their highest impact marketing channels, and medium to large organizations seeking to understand why their marketing is underperforming and create a profitable marketing strategy. If either of those sound familiar, this book was written for you. One final note: this book was written to be short and impactful, so you can 1. Read the entire book and therefore understand the strategies, and 2. Begin implementing these strategies in your business right away. The strategies in this book have changed the health and profitability of my clients' companies, and I know they can do the same for you. My promise to you: I'm a marketer who advocates for spending less on your marketing. Why? Because I have seen the impacts of poor marketing decisions. The marketing department can't hit your growth targets unless they get more budget and develop new campaigns. They get the budget, but these channels and campaigns don't work, and the marketing department bleeds millions of dollars. Corporate leadership attempts to correct the situation, but it's too late. The company isn't profitable, there are layoffs, the marketing department works on new marketing channels, more channels, and promises to hit growth targets the following year. They continue to bleed millions of dollars, leadership can't course correct, another year of layoffs, and so on. To me, marketing is an investment, not an expense. And as such, companies should stop making the same costly mistakes over and over and over again. It's like investing in a stock that only goes down. If an investment only ever lost you money, you wouldn't keep investing, would you? Introduction to the Marketing Ecosystem. Almost all business problems can be solved through better marketing. Cash flow, profitability, obscurity, and poor reputation can all be solved with better marketing. These issues are primarily caused by high customer acquisition costs, low average order values, customer retention problems, and low customer lifetime value. All of these can be improved with better marketing without allocating a single extra dollar to your marketing budget. My goal in this book is to prove that marketing doesn't need to flounder as just another line item in your business. Instead, it can become a cash-generating marketing ecosystem. Marketing ecosystem. Noun. A method of connecting an organization's marketing channels into one cohesive system where the sum of all marketing efforts is greater than its parts. As a fractional chief marketing officer, I've had the opportunity to work with a wide variety of brands. Before working with me, many of my clients had marketing departments that were bleeding money. They used agencies, contractors, and full-time employees to run their marketing channels. They were spending thousands of dollars per month on ads. Some clients were spending upwards of $1 million per month. Despite this, they were not profitable, had horrendous CAC problems, and disjointed marketing systems. After working with them to implement a marketing ecosystem, a marketing program that costs less but makes more money, they were able to significantly improve CAC, reduce ad spend while increasing sales revenue, invest in new, high-growth marketing channels, and most importantly, leverage marketing as a profitable asset for their business. In this book, I teach you the strategies that have led to these improvements for my clients and give you the tools to implement them in your own business. I'm confident that a marketing ecosystem will help you see the same types of improvements that my clients experienced, regardless of business or industry. Over the past 10 years, I have worked to refine the strategies presented in this book. I have implemented them in many businesses, from health and wellness to SaaS and finance, and across many different sizes of companies, from under $1 million a year in revenue to over $250 million a year in revenue. My process is refined with each new company and client. Part 2. Building your marketing ecosystem. How to think about marketing. Is your marketing department functioning like every other marketing department? You've heard you should be running email, so you've got someone running emails. You've got an agency or an in-house media buyer to run your digital ads, and you've got a graphic designer, a content marketer, and someone who is working on the website. If this sounds like you, you're running a good marketing program, but not a great one. One that's just enough to get by. You've had some wins. Paid ads killed it last month. But you're unable to replicate success for very long, and ultimately, you don't understand what's driving the success or failure of your marketing strategy. Worse yet, you don't have accurate data to tell you what's happening. Your CRM is a mess. You're not using dashboards to their fullest extent, and with insufficient data, you can't make informed decisions. You're not using a marketing ecosystem. If you're not using a marketing ecosystem, you have a marketing problem, and ultimately, a business problem. To evolve your marketing department, you need to implement a marketing ecosystem. A marketing ecosystem works both online and off to ensure that your prospects and customers have a cohesive experience each time they interact with the brand. In today's world, it's unlikely that someone will discover you online and become a customer during their first visit. Instead, you will need to create multiple touchpoints for your prospects, with each touchpoint working together to create a consistent and trustworthy experience for your brand. By intentionally positioning your marketing ecosystem in this way, you create psychological safety with your prospects, foster a deeper connection to your brand, and, most importantly, develop a stronger desire to become a paying customer. Creating a marketing ecosystem. There are 7 key steps to establishing a successful marketing ecosystem, and I encourage you to work through each in order. By implementing each step, you benefit not only your ecosystem, but also the health of your business. These steps are beginning with the end in mind, speaking to prospects, encouraging prospects to buy, maximizing marketing channels, finding what works for your brand, cultivating a testing mindset, and leveraging your marketing ecosystem. You may feel like you've already completed some of these steps when building your existing marketing channels. I've found through working with dozens of brands that no company has successfully created a marketing program that generates more sales at a lower cost without explicitly setting out to create a marketing ecosystem. Beginning with the end in mind. To build a winning brand today, you have to start with your customer and the problem you are solving for them. Emily Hayward, obsessed, building a brand people love from day one. The first step to building a thriving ecosystem is creating a guiding light to focus your marketing efforts. Business goals, revenue milestones, and company mission statements are not enough. Instead, you need a goal for your brand that ties all of your marketing together, both in its current state and years after the targets for your business have changed. Your brand goal will tie your brand's purpose and tone of voice together to create an overarching mission for your marketing ecosystem. It will be the first step in establishing the trust needed to build a profitable marketing program. The goal of your brand. People like to say a lot about brand marketing, but in my experience, they overstate the impact that branding has on a business. Have you ever heard the saying, branding is everything? Simply put, the purpose of your branding is to tie all of your marketing activities together. Your brand has 2 goals. 1, give people a quick introduction to your product or service through visual elements. And 2, tie all marketing channels together. With that in mind, let's work on gaining a deeper understanding of your brand. The purpose of your brand. Every brand has a purpose other than making money. For me, it's helping founders create wildly profitable businesses. I do this by creating marketing ecosystems that cost businesses way less to run while generating more revenue. For you, it may be to positively influence customers, create benefits for society, or a different goal that's better aligned with your business. It will be the one thing, aside from your logo, brand colors, and font, that ties your marketing together. To get started developing the purpose of your brand, ask yourself the following questions. What is the transformation that my customers go through by using my product or service? How do I want customers to feel when they use my product or service? Who is the person whom my product or service helps regularly? What is my customer's end goal after using my product or service? These questions will help you understand your direction, but it's not the only step in creating your brand's purpose. While working with clients, I ask all kinds of questions to help determine the general direction of their company. Then I develop a purpose for their brand using the following formula: helping customer outcome. For example, if you're a massage therapist and you use a unique treatment to solve neck pain for office workers, your purpose could be helping office professionals eliminate their neck pain for good. Or if you're selling a better toothbrush, your purpose could be helping everyone take better care of their teeth. To be clear, this is not a marketing message and shouldn't be shared with customers without some serious wordsmithing. Instead, this formula is designed to be the guidepost for your marketing now and into the future. It's intended to be specific enough while allowing room for it to adapt to your business as it evolves. Developing your tone of voice. The final step we need to discuss regarding your brand is your tone of voice. Tone of voice, put simply, is the personality that your written words contain. It's the reason that government documents sound stuffy and Instagram influencers sound so casual. Some brands get really in-depth here, and if you're a large company, feel free to do so. But if you're a company making under a few $1,000,000 per year, developing a brand voice guide isn't worth the resources. Instead, take some time to brainstorm adjectives that you'd like to describe your brand. For my personal brand, books, podcast episodes, and social media, my adjectives are authentic, approachable, relatable, expert, guide. While the adjectives for my consulting business, The Growth Directive, are expert, advisor, skilled, approachable, partner. You can see that there is a lot of overlap, but they still feel differentiated. You can set the tone of your marketing copy by using a few simple adjectives. To make this exercise easier, I created an adjective bank to accompany this audiobook. You can access it for free by visiting resources.yourbrandevolved.com. Now that you have your adjectives, we need to bring everything back to your brand's purpose. If your goal is to positively impact society, your adjectives should focus on approachability and connectedness. On the other hand, if your goal is to be the go-to resource for particle physicists, you should concentrate more on adjectives like educated, innovative, and industry leader. By choosing adjectives that align with your brand goal and audience, you create clear and compelling marketing messages that will naturally align with your audience. If your adjectives make sense compared to your brand goal, you can move on to the next step. Keep your brand goal and your adjectives easily accessible and share them widely with your team. They will guide all your marketing efforts from here until the end of time. You should be able to easily reference your brand goal and adjectives whenever you're sitting down to write, create an ad, or work on any other marketing project. It's also important to share these with employees, contractors, or freelancers who may be working on your marketing. Your brand goal and tone of voice are the guideposts to establish a firm basis of trust that prospects will associate with your brand. A brand goal is the first step in creating your marketing ecosystem. Now that you have a strong understanding of your brand and what you're trying to achieve with it, it's time to study the people who will be instrumental in its success, your prospects and customers. Speaking to prospects. You look for the solution to your problem, not inside the product, not even inside your own mind. You look for the solution to your problem inside the prospect's mind. Al Ries and Jack Trout. Positioning, the battle for your mind. You now have a solid understanding of your brand goal and tone of voice. The next step, and arguably the more important step, is to gain an understanding of your prospects and customers. This knowledge ensures that all your marketing channels work together to attract the correct type of person to your business and help you make more sales with less effort. By speaking directly to your prospects, addressing their concerns, and using the same language prospects use when searching for or interacting with a product like yours, you quickly create trust and convert prospects into paying customers. Understanding your audience. Do you know who your customers are? Sure, you may know which types of people or companies are a good fit for your product or service, but what do you know beyond that? What are your customers' motivations for purchasing from you? What keeps them up at night? How does your product fit into their life to improve it from the inside out? If you struggle to answer these questions, that's okay. I've worked with dozens of clients, and to date, only one had a fundamental understanding of their customers before starting our project. Understanding your customers is a straightforward task, but it can be time-intensive. I've developed a list of questions to help you create a well-rounded picture of your customers. By better understanding their key considerations, prospects are more likely to purchase from a company like yours. Though it's a long list, I encourage you to take the time to write out the answers to each one. Every question helps you understand a specific element of your customer and, together, paint a fully formed image of your customer avatar. To start, think about your best customers, those who have been a perfect fit for your products or services. Then ask yourself the following questions. What struggles do my customers encounter daily? When my customers have time to unwind, what do they think about? What are their key considerations when purchasing a product like mine? When evaluating my products against my competitors, why do they choose me? Who are my customers discussing this purchase with before, during, and after they buy? Where do my customers look for information before buying my product or service? What frame of mind is my customer in when they decide to buy my product or service? Why does my customer finally decide to purchase? Why do my customers choose my product or service over my competitors? What concerns does my customer have after making a purchase? Answering these questions will help you deeply understand your customers and your motivation. Then there's one final step: adding your product or service to the mix. Understanding your product or service. As a fractional CMO, I am often asked about my services at networking events, in passing while running errands, and by friends and family. It's easy to get too in-depth and technical when discussing the benefits of what we do. And I'm not alone. I see seasoned founders make this mistake regularly. Instead, it helps to shift the focus from the excellent benefits to your product or service's role in solving a customer's pain point. Take my services, for example. I help founders implement better marketing strategies so that they can hit their revenue targets, stress less, and therefore spend their energy doing something they enjoy more. This statement follows a pattern that you can quickly implement in your own business. I help ideal customer achieve outcome so that benefit, and therefore ideal state. This concept is loosely adapted from an exercise by Alex Hormozi, outlined in his book, $100 Million Offers, which I highly recommend. In this statement, your ideal customer is the avatar you've created as the perfect customer for your business. The outcome is the outcome that they will experience after using your product or service. The benefit is the good that comes from the outcome. And the ideal state is what your prospect is looking to achieve when using your product or service. Outcome, benefit, and ideal state are all very similar, but speak to different areas of the brain. If you've studied speech or writing, you may have heard of logos, ethos, and pathos. Logos relates to reason, ethos to credibility, and pathos to emotions. All three can be combined in different ways and quantities to create a compelling speech or argument, but they can also be leveraged to develop convincing marketing campaigns. Logos, pathos, and ethos are more complicated ways of saying outcome, benefit, and ideal state. By appealing to all three in your marketing, you can create campaigns that speak to the entire psychological state of a prospect, not just their logic or emotion. How prospects become customers. Right for the buyer, not the non-buyer. Real prospects are hungry for information. Dan Kennedy, The Ultimate Sales Letter. Now that you understand who your customers are and why they buy things, you can lead them toward purchasing from you. There are a few components that go into pulling this off. 1. Creating custom journeys. 2. Educating. 3. Addressing objections. And 4. Asking for the sale. Your brand goal will be your guiding light during this portion of creating your marketing ecosystem. It should be present throughout this process to ensure each successive step is easy and straightforward for your prospects. Inconsistency can ruin your brand's image and diminish the value of your messaging. No matter where a prospect or client finds you online, you want their mental image of your brand to be reaffirmed. There should never be any surprises when it comes to your brand. Let's look at the steps to creating a successful customer purchasing journey and some common pitfalls to avoid along the way. Creating custom journeys. The path you offer to all prospects should be highly custom to them. Everyone cares about something different regarding your brand. They have different budgets and needs. Therefore, it's essential to know everything that could be going through a prospect's mind before, during, and after their purchase. To do this, write down every possible objection someone could have when purchasing from you. To simplify this exercise, think of the problems in your prospect's head before purchasing your product. These are your prospect's objections. Aim to write down at least 50 objections your prospects have when purchasing a product or service like yours. Once these objections are written down, you should sort them into similar groups. For example, someone who shares that this purchase is over budget versus someone who shares that we don't have that much funding may address entirely separate concerns, but both could be in the finance category. These objections, coupled with the questions, concerns, and feelings your prospects have during a purchasing decision, can be combined in infinite combinations. A prospect may be jumping between different points in their purchasing journey within seconds. For this reason, it's critical to design journeys where a prospect can access all the information they need within a few clicks. Note that I borrowed this concept from Steve Jobs, who notoriously insisted that anything on an iPod should be able to be accessed within 3 clicks. Where a prospect encounters you online and how many clicks it takes them to get their information will vary slightly. For example, it will be much easier for a prospect to find the info when they're reading your blog post than navigating from YouTube Shorts. There should never be any question as to whether the information they need has been made available or not. Creating these branching journeys is complex. If you'd like me to look over yours, book a free brand evolution audit at yourbrandevolved.com/audit. When creating a build-your-own experience for your prospects, you must build a journey with all information available within a few clicks and as little visual clutter as possible. Finding the information a prospect is looking for should be fast and easy. Things like mega menus, resource pages, tree menus, and FAQs help condense a lot of information into an easy-to-understand experience for your prospects. The easier it is for prospects and customers to comprehend your marketing, the more effective it will be at establishing a position in your prospects' minds. The easier it is for someone to develop trust with your brand and address their own objections, the quicker they will purchase from you. Educating. As a prospect prepares to make a purchasing decision, their first step is educating themselves. Prospects want to know what problem your product solves and how much it will cost them to acquire it: time, money, status, etc. In addition, they want to be able to answer their most critical questions before purchasing from you. For this reason, it's essential to create many resources for your prospects to learn more about your product, your brand, and how you can solve their needs. You can educate your prospects and clients in 3 main ways. 1. FAQs, 2. blog posts, and 3. resources. Let's look at how each of these can benefit your brand. FAQs. Frequently asked questions are designed to answer all your prospects' questions in rapid-fire succession. Using the objection groups you developed earlier in this chapter, create 3 to 5 questions in every section that focus on your prospects' most important questions. Blog posts. Most people think solely of the search engine optimization or SEO value when it comes to blogs. However, your blog also has immense educational value. Blogs are a great place to expand upon complex FAQs, address unique scenarios, and answer technical questions. By writing straightforward and educational blog posts that address questions not present in your FAQ section, you cultivate transparency and build trust with your prospects. Resources. Resources are white papers, ebooks, industry reports, guides, and other non-blog resources that prospects find valuable while making their purchasing decision. Creating a guide outlining considerations when purchasing your product or service is a great way to guide prospects through a complicated purchase. It also positions your brand as an authority and fosters increased trust with prospects. Leveraging FAQs, blog posts, and resources increases your brand authority and creates trust with prospects. However, education alone is not enough. You must also address the objections present throughout your prospect's buying journey. Addressing objections. Every time you've purchased something, you've had an objection. I was at the grocery store recently. I walked down the apple aisle, found the apples that looked tastiest, the Honeycrisp, looked at their price, $1.29 a pound, glanced around at the other apples to see if anything looked tastier. Honeycrisps looked best, glanced around to make sure I wasn't missing any good deals, and decided to purchase the Honeycrisp apples. This all happened in the course of a few seconds. Even though buying apples is one of the most basic purchases I make, there were still a few objections that I raised before making the purchase. Will I like this type of apple? Are there better apples than this one? Do I like this price? The more expensive and complex a purchase becomes, the more objections your prospects will have before buying from you. By addressing each objection a prospect has when making a purchase, you ensure that they have the exact information they need when they need it. Asking for the sale. Now that your prospects have all the information they need to make a purchase, you ask for the sale. For some brands, there is a rigid process that prospects follow: discovery call, sales call, etc. While for others, the process may have just a few short steps. To ask for the sale, you need to tell your prospects how to engage in your sales process. Book a call, choose a time, buy now, download here, etc. This is the call to action. Your call to action should be straightforward and descriptive, and ask your prospects to take the smallest next step needed to make a purchase. Asking for the sale is the final piece of the foundation for your marketing ecosystem. Next, you will bring your marketing channels together and find the areas where you can unlock profitable growth. Maximizing marketing channels. A powerful marketing campaign will capture your attention with something that sparks an emotion. Then it will engage your mind with something factual or interesting to consider. Finally, it will ask you to take an action that feels increasingly urgent. Daniel Priestley and Glenn Carlson, Scorecard Marketing. Now that you've got an excellent understanding of the hurdles your prospects may encounter when purchasing from you, it's time to start creating the main components of your marketing ecosystem and connecting them. This step is the backbone of your marketing ecosystem. While no part in itself is complex, the magic is spending the time to make sure everything is working together. As Al Ries and Jack Trout share in Positioning: The Battle for Your Mind, simplicity is not as attractive as complexity. However, when it comes to creating a profitable marketing ecosystem for your brand, simplicity is key. Remember that your brand goal is the cohesive thread tying all of the elements together in your marketing. Your goal in implementing different marketing channels is to find prospects, attract them to your brand, and convert them into customers. By intentionally referring to your brand in tone of voice, you will create a cohesive and understandable experience for prospects without deviating from your brand identity. Creating psychological safety during the buying experience is critical to the success of your marketing ecosystem. This chapter reviews all the components that make up a marketing ecosystem. You may already have some of the components set up for your brand. Still, I recommend revisiting them with a new perspective to ensure they reflect your brand's goals, properly educate your prospects, answer FAQs, dismiss objections, and guide prospects to the next phase in their purchasing journey. When marketing channels are implemented in this way, you create an ecosystem that generates more revenue while costing less to run. The main channels of a marketing ecosystem are 1. Organic marketing, 2. Paid marketing, 3. Content marketing, 4. Email marketing, and 5. Additional marketing. Let's look at these channels and how to incorporate them into your ecosystem. Organic marketing. Organic marketing builds awareness for your brand without needing to pay for the exposure. It's the first channel of focus in a marketing ecosystem. There are 2 primary reasons for this. 1. Organic marketing creates sustainable growth, and 2. Organic growth takes time to establish as a sales engine. When you think of organic marketing, consider your website, social posts, blog posts, and other channels your brand may already utilize to increase brand awareness. Since organic marketing is directly intertwined with content marketing, discussed shortly, let's look at your marketing ecosystem's central hub, your website. Your website. If your brand is the glue that binds your marketing together, then your website is the hub of your ecosystem. It connects all your marketing efforts and plays the most prominent role in ensuring that your marketing ecosystem generates outsized returns. Your website is a place for your customers and prospects to learn more about your products and services. As such, you will need to consider the type of activities each of those groups need to undertake on your website and work to improve each of these over time. Your website's homepage should contain 3 critical pieces of information. 1. Who you help. 2. How you help them. And 3. The next step. Just like with brand marketing, people tend to overthink their website. If you speak to who you can help, how you help them, and what the next step is for someone to take, your website is ready for your other marketing activities. However, there's more that's needed to ensure your website is set up to generate as much revenue as possible for your ecosystem. These elements include hero, call to action, blog or resource content, and contact us form. Let's look at each of these elements one by one. Hero. The hero section is the area at the top of a website. The hero is the most highly trafficked part of your website, making what you put in this section the most important. In the hero, you should quickly explain the 3 key elements discussed above and briefly call out who you can help, how you help them, and how to take the next step. Tip: just below the hero, include an in-depth video outlining the 3 key elements for people who want to know more but do not want to read further down the page. Call to action. Your call to action, or CTA, is the next step in a client's buying journey. Things like book a call, shop, and schedule appointment are all examples of CTAs. Your CTA should be short, clearly state the next step, be featured on a button, and appear in title case. Blog and resource content. Not to spoil anything, but the entire next section of this audiobook focuses on blogs and resources in detail. For now, know that this type of content is critical to your success in organic search rankings. Contact Us form. Your Contact Us form should always be separate from your call to action, since sending someone to a generic contact form creates a lackluster user experience. If you must send someone to a form as part of your sales process, differentiate it in some way from your Contact Us form. For example, adding a call to action of "Work with us" and creating a visually different form with more relevant questions will dramatically improve your conversion rates. In any case, having a Contact Us form on your website is essential. I recommend including a Contact Us form in the footer of your website, so it's accessible without taking up prime real estate in your menu. Content marketing. Content marketing is all the content you create for your brand. This channel plays hand in hand with organic marketing, as the two can't exist without each other. While we focused a lot on the specifics of a website in the organic marketing section, this section helps your blog and social content strategies become a profit generator for your marketing ecosystem. Blogs. Blogs are where you begin building upon your ecosystem. To create good blog content, you refer to the persona research you've completed earlier in this book. What questions do your ideal prospects have? What are their biggest concerns before, during, and after working with you? Leveraging the understanding of your prospects will help create more impactful blog content and attract more of your ideal customers. SEO. Another critical reason to have a blog is to attract organic traffic through SEO. However, organic traffic from blogs will diminish as Google becomes better at leveraging AI snippets to help keep people on SERPs, search engine response pages. Search is dying. With the increase of AI snippets and searches appearing in the Also Asked section on Google, there is a case to be made that search is dying. Over time, social media will become an increasingly relevant way to generate organic website traffic. Social media takes time to grow, so get started now. The case for social media. Social media is an excellent way to create a community around your product or service and educate prospects before they purchase from you. Like all other elements of your marketing strategy, your social media strategy should align with your brand goal and tone of voice. So, if your goal is helping people take better care of their teeth, you should spend a reasonable amount of time on your social media sharing how people can take better care of their teeth. An important note is that social media is meant to be casual, not salesy, so you should only occasionally talk about your product or service. An often used posting schedule from Jab, 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 Right Hook recommends selling in every fourth social post. All other posts should include relevant content for your audience. However, consumers are a lot smarter on social media than before. If you sell more than every seventh post, you do it too often. Instead, find ways to weave your product into the content you're producing. If you create content your ideal prospects want to engage with, you're doing the right thing on social media. This will pay off. Someone engaging with your content enough times will naturally gravitate to your profile to check out what you're up to. They will visit your website if they like what they see. Because you're building your marketing ecosystem, this is a seamless process where they keep getting more and more of the info they need to make their purchase. This is how you make sales from social media. Adding diversity to your ecosystem. To attract and nurture prospects, brands must effectively leverage all marketing channels. Because every person is unique in the way they want to discover, learn from, and engage with brands, it's critical to ensure your brand shows up everywhere your prospects and customers live online. By testing new channels, strategies, and messaging across all your marketing activities, you can add diversity to your ecosystem. You can repurpose content across channels to create diversity without adding additional costs. A note on repurposing. I always encourage clients to repurpose their content. However, you must be intentional with your repurposing strategy. Prospects and customers are savvy. They connect with you on multiple channels and are hungry for information. By repurposing ideas, topics, FAQs, and objections, you can adapt content in a way that makes sense for each channel. Your repurposed content needs to be adapted as a native content piece for the channel it's appearing on, tailoring the messaging and creative to fit the platform. You should never copy and paste your content verbatim to other channels. Who organic marketing works for? Organic marketing and content marketing work for every business. It doesn't matter what type of business you're in, content marketing will work for you. What will inevitably vary for your business is the channel mix. You will invest more effort into the channels with the biggest returns. These channels will differ for every business, even among businesses in the same niche, product, or industry. Organic marketing takes time, but you need to create a robust organic marketing system before investing in paid channels. Skipping this step and jumping straight to paid ads is the most common mistake that has put my clients in a bad place before they begin working with me. I've seen severe impacts from skipping organic marketing. Millions of dollars burned, massive layoffs, missed revenue targets, unhappy boards, and so on. So if you're thinking about skipping organic marketing because paid marketing is quicker and easier, don't. Organic and content marketing are some of the best ways to generate sustainable growth over time for your ecosystem. The following sections look at different levers that you can pull within your ecosystem to generate even higher returns. Paid marketing. Paid marketing is similar to organic marketing since its goal is to raise brand awareness, but the biggest difference is that you need to pay for it. This type of marketing can act as fertilizer for your ecosystem or as a toxic chemical, poisoning the entire system. Paid channels can be cost prohibitive, difficult to get right, and require much more time and attention than other channels. For this reason, an entire chapter is dedicated to this topic later in the audiobook. Nurturing through life cycle. Lifecycle marketing is another important channel in your ecosystem because it works to keep the leads you've generated through organic and paid marketing and convert them into a customer. This marketing channel costs little to set up, can be highly automated, and has excellent data to foster continual performance improvements, making it a game changer for the profitability of your marketing ecosystem. Lifecycle marketing is named for the customer lifecycle, the process of a prospect becoming a customer and a customer repeatedly purchasing. Once a prospect is interested in your brand, they can join your email list, learn more about your offer, get their questions answered, and become a customer. But lifecycle doesn't stop there. Instead, when you continue to use lifecycle marketing for your existing customers, you can sell more and convert more, driving up your customer LTV. Once someone becomes a customer, they should join a new list where you can address post-purchase FAQs, educate them about other products and services, and encourage them to repurchase or increase their level of service. By effectively leveraging lifecycle, you can use your ecosystem to increase customer lifetime value and average order value. The highest performing elements of a successful lifecycle program for my clients have been Welcome Sequence, a short series of emails welcoming new subscribers, sending relevant educational emails over 5 to 10 days to try converting them into customers. Abandoned Cart Sequence, 2 to 3 emails reminding someone they left items in their cart without checking out. Sometimes these sequences include a discount to encourage a conversion. Post-Purchase Sequence, a sequence of emails sent after a customer purchases your product. This sequence can include the order receipt, shipping information, product instructions, and complimentary upsells. Onboarding Sequence, a post-purchase sequence specifically designed for service-based businesses. These emails educate clients on their onboarding process, set expectations, and provide helpful tips. Weekly Newsletter, a weekly email that's sent to subscribers after they exit the welcome, post-purchase, or onboarding sequence. Newsletters keep your leads warm and your brand at the top of their mind. Notice how none of these emails are regular marketing emails. The quickest way for people to lose interest in your emails is to send them regular sales messages. Instead, your emails should focus on adding value by educating, delighting, and relating to your subscribers to nurture them through the buying process. Additional marketing activities. While every brand should undoubtedly have all of the above marketing channels, you may have some additional marketing activities that you'd like to continue for your brand. If they're working, keep them and integrate them into your ecosystem. Here are some things to consider when incorporating extracurricular marketing channels. Offline marketing. Offline marketing is any type of marketing that doesn't appear online. This may include billboards or TV ads, in-person events, radio commercials, direct mail, or other forms of marketing. Though these channels are optional, they may be critical to your marketing strategy. Treating this channel as an integrated part of your marketing ecosystem is essential to creating a successful offline marketing program. Your brand goal, tone of voice, and appearance offline should mirror your online appearance. Remember, your goal is to create a cohesive omni-channel experience where your prospects and clients feel like they understand your brand. You don't want to surprise them at any step of the buying journey. FAQs. Help! What if I'm marketing in a channel you didn't mention in this book? You should treat all marketing channels as an extension of your ecosystem, even if they were not explicitly called out in this audiobook. The most important thing guaranteeing your marketing program's success is creating a cohesive experience for prospects and customers. Cohesive experiences build trust and foster psychological safety when prospects engage with your brand. This all sounds expensive. How much does a marketing ecosystem cost? When done right, a marketing ecosystem should cost less than your current marketing program, but it should generate more revenue for your brand. My clients usually find they can reinvest the cost savings back into their businesses, but what you do with the extra budget is up to you. My brand makes a lot of money. Do I need a marketing ecosystem? All brands need a marketing ecosystem, regardless of how much money they are making. My clients have ranged from businesses making $1 million per year to over $250 million per year, and they've all been able to create more profitable marketing strategies by implementing a marketing ecosystem. We have used marketing ecosystems to prepare for IPO, achieve profitability, and generate dependable revenue at a profitable customer acquisition cost. My goal is to become profitable. Isn't this just another marketing expense? Your marketing department should be an investment, generating profitable returns for your brand the moment you acquire a customer. For this reason, I don't recommend spending more on marketing while implementing your ecosystem. My clients find they can spend less and make more after implementing an ecosystem. Through experimentation, you will find a marketing channel that creates outsized returns for your brand. The only reason to spend more on marketing is when you know what's working and generating profitable returns. Can a marketing ecosystem be automated? The answer is yes. Automating lifecycle sequences, workflows, lead nurture, sales activities, and other elements of your marketing ecosystem can save on costs. I recommend that everyone work to set up a system that is as automated as possible while still providing high-quality touchpoints for prospects and clients. What employees do I need to create a marketing ecosystem? The answer to this question depends on your business's size and your marketing ecosystem's complexity. I've worked with companies with only 1 or 2 employees available to set up the ecosystem, while other companies have had over 50 marketers working on various aspects of the ecosystem. My general rule of thumb is what you've got plus 1 more. For example, your company could bring in a fractional CMO, marketing director, or project manager to connect your marketing channels and generate more revenue. How can I get help implementing a marketing ecosystem? This is my specialty. I help companies implement or improve their marketing ecosystems every day. You can learn more about my process and secure your free brand evolution audit by visiting yourbrandEvolved.com/audit. Finding what works for your brand. The single most crucial dimension of a company's aspiration. A company must play to win. A.G. Lafley and Roger Martin, Playing to Win. Now that you've got your ecosystem up and running, it's time to start measuring the success of your marketing. One of my favorite quotes about marketing is from a tweet by Matthew Kobach. It shares, "Marketing is a humbling profession. Sometimes the idea you are certain is going to work doesn't work. Or the idea you know definitely won't work definitely does work. Or the thing that used to work stops working." For this reason, measuring your success and finding what works for your brand are critical to the success of your ecosystem. These 2 steps are also the most time-intensive as they should not be automated. To notice the trends in your data, you or a dedicated member of your team need to look at performance data every day. By obsessing over your performance data, identifying trends, and finding the small idiosyncrasies in your reports, you can learn what is performing best for your brand and double down on those areas. Remember, you need all of the essential elements of your ecosystem, but you don't need to invest in them all equally, or rather, should not. Instead, you should measure your success, determine what works best for your brand, and run many experiments to improve your marketing channel's performance. Measuring your success. The first step in measuring your success is determining what key performance indicators are meaningful to your brand. These can vary for each marketing channel, but picking one as a primary target for your marketing ecosystem is helpful. Here are some that I've used as the primary KPI for my clients. Customer acquisition cost, or CAC, the amount of money spent to acquire a customer. Cost per lead, the amount of money spent to get a lead for your business. Conversion rate, CVR, the percentage of people who become a customer after interacting with your brand in some way, becoming a lead, visiting a landing page, clicking an ad, etc. Return on investment, ROI, a lesser used marketing metric that determines the return on every marketing dollar spent. When selecting a primary KPI, choosing the one with the most significant impact on your business goals is essential. You'll notice that sales generated is not a KPI mentioned in this section. It's not because sales generated isn't an important metric, but instead because it can provide a false feeling of success when looking at your marketing channels. Using a metric like CAC, CVR, or CPO will help you profitably scale your marketing and prevent your marketing ecosystem from becoming a marketing nightmare, in which you've overinvested in several channels because they're bringing in sales but are costing more than they take in. Turning these situations around is possible, but incredibly difficult without restructures and significant business interruptions. Visualizing with dashboards. Now that your KPIs are determined, it's time to create your dashboards. Dashboards help you visualize all the data you're tracking around your KPIs and can be kept automatically up to date. There are many dashboard software options available, but I like and recommend Google's Looker Studio. There's also an enterprise version of this software for larger companies called Looker. Depending on where your data originates, you may need a third-party connector to get your data into dashboard programs. You should decide which connector suits your brand with the person responsible for maintaining the data connections. Getting hands-on. Dashboards will be automatically updated with your KPIs. However, you must also manually manipulate your marketing data occasionally. Studies have shown that looking at data alone isn't enough to make informed decisions. Instead, by forcing yourself to slow down, pulling and manipulating data manually, you will find the small quirks in your data and identify the most significant areas of opportunity for your brand. It's usually the areas that you identify from manual data manipulation that create outsized returns. Troubleshooting. In addition to your primary KPI, you will also have secondary KPIs. Secondary KPIs help diagnose precise areas of improvement within your marketing channels. Each channel will have different KPIs. Here are some KPIs I recommend for each channel, along with some troubleshooting tips if you notice one of your secondary KPIs is underperforming compared to your other channels. Content marketing. Session length. Session length measures the time a visitor has spent on your website. Higher session times usually indicate highly engaged visitors. If your session length is low, visitors are likely not getting the information they need. To troubleshoot low session length, you should look at your bounce rate and pages per session. Pay attention to the pages with the most traffic and the lowest session times. Bounce rate. Bounce rate measures the percentage of visitors who immediately leave your website upon landing on one of your web pages. If the bounce rate is high, visitors likely see something indicating they're not in the right place and quickly leave your website. To troubleshoot your bounce rate, examine which pages visitors most commonly land on and where traffic comes from. Asking yourself, what are people looking for when they visit this page, can go a long way toward reducing your bounce rate. Pages per session. Pages per session measures the number of pages someone visits during a session or a visit on your website. Generally, pages per session is a guardrail metric used only to help diagnose an issue with another KPI, such as session length. If your goal is to increase pages per session, make sure that relevant internal links are available throughout your website and that you have enough content educating, answering FAQs, and addressing all objections your prospects may have. Conversion rate, or CVR. Conversion rate is the percentage of people who take an action after interacting with your brand in some way, becoming a lead, making a purchase, booking a call, etc. If your conversion rate is low, there may be issues with your offer, call to action, or positioning. Determine where people drop off in their buying journey to troubleshoot your conversion rate. Do your prospects need any more information at this stage? Is there a clear call to action? Are you asking them for something that makes sense given the context of your product? Social media marketing. Engagement rate. Engagement rate measures the percentage of people who see your social media post and interact with it in some way, liking, saving, commenting, reposting, etc. Low engagement rates generally indicate that content is not resonating with your target audience, your prospects and clients. To fix low engagement rates, ensure that you're using a mix of content types focused on educating, entertaining, and answering questions. You should be posting very few sales-oriented social media posts. Lifecycle marketing. Open rate. Open rate measures the percentage of people who open a marketing email. Low open rates indicate that your subject line and preview text are unappealing to recipients. To fix low open rates, test new subject lines and previews. Just like with social media, the number of educational emails needs to be far greater than sales-oriented emails. Click-through rate, or CTR. CTR measures the percentage of people who click through an email or an ad to visit your website. If you have a low CTR, your call to action and offer are not compelling to your audience. To fix low CTR, use better calls to action or try testing a call to outcome, and improve your offer's perceived value using urgency and scarcity. Paid advertising. Cost per milli, or CPM. CPM measures the amount it costs to receive 1,000 ad impressions and indicates how well your current targeting works. If your CPM is high and you have a very niche product, there may be nothing you can do to remedy this due to the limited pool of prospects you can access. If your CPM is high and you have a product or service that many people can utilize, your targeting likely needs to be adjusted. Try broadening your location targeting, finding new interest groups, or testing different lookalike audiences. Impression share. Impression share is a paid search KPI that measures how many times your ads are shown compared to how many times they could show for your ad. For example, if you have 50% impression share, your ads are only showing up in 50% of relevant searches that could be showing your ad. To increase impression share, you need to increase your budget, increase bids, change your bidding strategy, or improve ad relevance. Return on ad spend, or ROAS. ROAS measures how much money you make for each dollar spent on advertising. If your ROAS is low, your ads are running inefficiently and likely unprofitably and requires an immediate reassessment. To improve ROAS, scale back the scope of your campaigns, turn off everything that's not working, create a testing strategy, and begin running experiments. I recommend that all brands running digital ads review their ROAS regularly and make plans for improvements, even if they're happy with their current ROAS. When to invest in paid ads. Spend only on the things that have a direct relationship to sales. The $100 startup. Ads can make or break a marketing ecosystem, and more importantly, the profitability of the company running them. Because ads are, by and large, the most significant marketing expense for any company running them, they need the most attention and care to get right. I've seen many companies who thought their ads were profitable, only to discover that their ads have been losing money month after month for years. It's not a good feeling when they find out, and you can avoid this same fate for your brand by keeping a few things in mind. Investing in ads. When is the right time? It's tempting to ramp up your ad spend as your revenue increases. After all, you've got to spend money to make money, right? Not entirely. At this point, you've heard me mention a few times how overinvesting in ads too early or without proof of concept can become a costly disaster for your business. So, when is the right time to invest in advertising for your business? I advise companies to begin paying for advertising only after they have unlocked success in another marketing channel. To run profitable ads, you need a basic understanding of what will perform well for your advertising. Of course, many companies want to start growing all marketing channels at once. So, if you must start advertising before you've unlocked success in another channel, wait until your marketing ecosystem is set up. When your ecosystem functions together, you can learn from all channels to grow and improve everything at the same time. By refining your goal and messaging, understanding your prospects' questions and concerns before they purchase, and watching what emails and social posts perform best and what blog posts convert the best, you'll have an advertising system built on the success of all channels that produces outsized returns. A case against ads. Not all companies need to run ads to be massively successful. So if you don't want to run ads for your brand, don't. I firmly believe that a marketing ecosystem can function successfully and profitably without paid ads. PR, events, or other marketing initiatives could work for your brand. In that case, keep up what's working and continue running experiments across channels to improve performance over time. Unsure if your ads are working for you? Looking for guidance on if now is the right time to invest in advertising? Get your questions answered during your brand evolution audit. Book here, yourbrand.evolved.com/audit. The Marketing Ecosystem Accelerator. By now, you're convinced that a marketing ecosystem will benefit your business and is quintessential to the very nature of your marketing program. You can spend money on advertising, send emails, and create social posts, but the growth you're looking for only comes when you can connect your marketing channels to create something greater than the sum of its parts. These strategies have been refined through years of experimentation and by implementing them in my business and my clients' businesses. During that time, I've created a unique system that helps businesses like yours improve their marketing so you can 1. Spend less on your marketing while making more money. 2. Maximize ROI by leveraging marketing channels with the highest returns. And 3. Create reliability through an improved marketing ecosystem. I do this by conducting a complete audit of all marketing channels, determining which ones are successful, which are losing money, and creating a plan forward for a profitable marketing department that generates predictable sales. The systems I create for clients are highly automated, require no additional marketing investment, and generate more revenue than the strategies they replace. Cultivating a testing mindset. It is far more lucrative and fun to leverage your strengths instead of attempting to fix all the chinks in your armor. The choice is between multiplication of results using strengths or incremental improvement fixing weaknesses that will, at best, become mediocre. Focus on better use of your best weapons instead of constant repair. Timothy Ferriss, The 4-Hour Workweek. Your ecosystem is set up and your dashboards are tracking performance. What's next? Testing and improving your marketing channels. A testing mindset ensures your ecosystem becomes more profitable over time and is the number one thing that generates outsized marketing returns. If you want your ecosystem to generate as many sales as possible, it's critical to begin planning experiments and testing things across all channels. You should aim to test something on every active marketing channel at any given time. A testing goal will guide your experimentation and can be as simple as, I want to learn how we can double the open rate on our emails without running a sale. Or, I want to reduce CAC from $400 to $350 by next month. Goals are the basis for setting up experiments and creating your testing mindset. When creating goals for each channel, it's essential to keep the following things in mind. Is the testing goal in line with the goal for our brand? Have I shared this goal with the appropriate team members? Do I have their buy-in on the goal? Do my dashboards currently have the data to track improvement in this goal? After you can answer yes to all of those questions, it's time to start setting up your experiment. When creating experiments, it's important to test only one thing at a time, so you know that any difference in performance is due to the change you made. If you change multiple things and see a dip in performance, you won't know which of the changes is negatively impacting performance. Choose a test goal that will have the most significant impact on the KPI that you're trying to improve. For example, if you aim to improve your email open rates, you'll want to focus on the headline. Now that you've got your goal, it's time to do a retrospective analysis, which is a fancy term for looking at what you've done in the past. Taking email open rates, for example, you might find that certain headlines perform better than others, and that all of those headlines contain an action word. Considering this, you might design an experiment to determine if you can consistently produce higher open rates with certain action words. Once you have your direction, KPIs, and hypothesis, it's time to start testing. Remember, you should be experimenting with all of your marketing channels all of the time. An obsession with continual improvement will create a competitive advantage for your marketing strategy. This flywheel of improvement will maximize profitability across all marketing channels. After your test concludes, note a summary of the test and its performance in a document for future reference. This will be helpful when you or a team member run future tests. It helps prevent duplicate learnings and continues to expedite growth in your marketing ecosystem. Once in a while, despite your best preparation, hypothesis, and effort, a test will fail. While it can be disappointing when this happens, it's essential to remember that you've learned something incredibly valuable for your brand. What you tested doesn't work. Tests that fail are just as helpful as those that perform well because they help you to understand the bounds you're working in for each marketing channel. Successful and failed tests work together to create a clear picture of your arena and help design even stronger tests. Remember to document the results of failed tests along with the results of your successful ones. Leveraging your marketing ecosystem. Interestingly, as the production and distribution of content has become more commoditized, this means that the value of original, high-quality content continues to increase. Joe Pulizzi, Killing Marketing. A brand without a marketing ecosystem is competing at a severe disadvantage. A brand with a marketing ecosystem is playing to win. By listening to this audiobook and implementing these strategies, you're setting up an asset for your brand that will continue to create outsized returns for years to come. Creating a marketing ecosystem takes time and has many moving parts. You may complete a step only to come back to it later and determine you didn't complete it the right way. That's okay. An ecosystem continually evolves over time and can adapt to the changing nature of your marketing and your brand. Though implementing an ecosystem can present difficulties, it's well worth the effort. Of course, it's faster and easier with help. In part 3 of this book, I share how you can expedite the implementation of a marketing ecosystem in your company. Part 3, The Path Forward. Who relies on me? Implementing these strategies in your business is a multifaceted process that can sometimes be overwhelming. You want to be sure that your time and strategy will pay off for your company. Working with a fractional CMO who can help you piece this all together and make your marketing as successful as possible should give you peace of mind, knowing that the ecosystem strategies have been expertly adapted to your business. I have had the opportunity to implement these strategies at many companies, and I would love to implement them for your company as well. To give you a better picture of the types of companies I can help, here's a brief overview of some of the companies that rely on me for their marketing ecosystems. ROI-focused small businesses. Why? Small business owners want to know they're putting their resources in the areas with the highest impact. When working with small businesses, I take the time to understand what's worked for them in the past, identify new paths forward, and help develop diversified, impactful marketing channels. Innovative hyper-growth startups. Why? Growth stage startups are constantly looking for the big thing that will unlock their next growth stage. And when venture capital is involved, there are a lot of pressures to do so coming from every angle. Growth mode startups have many moving parts, and what works versus what doesn't work in their marketing may be muddied by a lack of data, hindering the ability to make accurate marketing decisions. When working with startups, I prioritize correcting data streams and maximizing hidden channels with outsized growth potential. Forward-thinking scale-ups. Why? Scale-ups have enjoyed strong growth and must be set up to achieve their next goal, a sale, IPO, or other long-term objectives. Usually that means they're looking to gain a measure of profitability. When working with scale-ups, I minimize costs where marketing is underperforming while maximizing profitable marketing channels. The next step. If you want to learn how to start or improve your marketing ecosystem, all you need to do is schedule your brand evolution audit. There's no fee, no risk, and nothing to lose. Here's what to do. Visit yourbrandevolved.com/audit. Review the brand evolution system options to see which program may be right for you and your business. Click the Brand Evolution Audit button and follow the prompts to schedule a meeting with me. Book your free brand evolution audit at yourbrandevolved.com/audit.